your significant other, your mother-in-law, your child, your neighbor. We all are constantly giving and receiving feedback. I like the word feedback instead of criticism. And I've recently had this subject come up in my personal life, and it made me think I was the one that was giving feedback. And the receiver didn't receive it that well. And I gave it in the most gentle, honest way that I could. And when the receiver didn't receive it that well, I thought later on, and I shared this with one of my fellow members here, I thought about all of you. And I thought about how fortunate we are to come here, to express ourselves, to communicate from what we have inside, and to communicate and to share it. It takes a lot of courage. And then at the same token, we give feedback here. We give and receive feedback. You can call it criticism. You can call it whatever you want. And each and every one of us understands that when we come here, bravely get up and speak and share, and someone then comes up and gives us an evaluation and gives us feedback, we know that that's for our highest good. They want us to learn from that input. They want to help us grow. They want to help us succeed. Not everybody knows this. Not everybody knows this. It is amazing. We learn in here to give feedback. We learn to communicate. And when we go out into the world and we teach this to others, some people aren't quite as good at that. And that was very, very apparent. I just want to thank each and every one of you for this club and for making it so comfortable to share and to receive feedback. It's very rare. And so here's the subject. This Project 3 is about diffusing criticism. And so angry statements and accusations equal what typically? When somebody's angry and they throw an accusation at you and an angry statement, an argument happens usually. Back and forth, and you really don't accomplish anything except hurt feelings. And often the very problem closes up and it doesn't get resolved. Conflicts, however, can be healthy. And I would like each and every one of us to please repeat this after me. This. Conflicts, everyone?
Conflicts can be healthy.
And you ask yourself, why can conflicts be healthy? Because somebody else other than ourselves is telling us something that we might not be aware of. And now, for the sake of this evening, I'm talking about people that you typically deal with on a daily basis, that you kind of have their respect and they have yours, okay? Your spouse, your boss, your neighbor, somebody that knows you. This is who I'm kind of talking about tonight in particular. When somebody gives you feedback, listen to it. Listen to it. Don't be defensive. Because people see sides of us that we don't see ourselves for whatever reason. We don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that. You need to if you want to grow, if you want to be a better person. So it can be good. It can be good. However, harsh criticism, what happens? We become defensive. When it's harsh, the wall goes up, or we're ready to duke it out. Why is this? Why do our walls go up? 2 reasons. We see ourselves a certain way. That's called self-image. We also project onto others how we want them to see us. So that's called our public image, how we want others to see us. And of course, we want others to see us. We're great. We're perfect. We're nice. And we try to be that way with ourselves. But we're only human. We're not always going to be this way. Sometimes people give us constructive feedback, and they're right. And I think every one of us, our mother, our brother, our significant other told us something, and we were like, oh my God, he or she is right. And you've got to be able to be willing to let that come in. It hurts sometimes. The truth hurts. But you have to realize that it could be best. It could be for your highest good. Other times, somebody can say, you know what, you're this and this and this and this, and you did this, and you got that job because you did this and this, and they're wrong. And we know they're wrong. And that's the time to really understand how to resolve conflict. You're going to stand your ground. You're going to let them share because you're respectful. And that's how you want to be treated. But they're wrong. And you want to bring and shed some light on this subject. Responding to criticism. 4 areas of responding to criticism. Number 1, you can withdraw. You can just be like, F it, and leave it, right? I'm not going to deal with this right now. Or you can withdraw verbally. mind can be good. You're going to kill the person, I'm going to just take a moment, go outside, I'm leaving, and then you come back. That's okay. Keeping your mouth shut can be good, but it can also mean that you didn't stand your ground. And that might impact your self-esteem later. You just bit your tongue and you didn't say anything. You got to be careful with that. Another way to respond to criticism is rationalizing. You're right, but I was late and I had to go and the mother-in-law dropped off the thing and then I couldn't make it. And you explain and explain and explain. We do that quite a bit. Because there's nothing wrong with us, right? We're perfect. The third one is counter-attacking. You know, you say that about me, but you've got something coming too. You've done that before, and I didn't like it. And there was another time we did that, and you can go on and on and on. That doesn't accomplish anything. That usually adds fuel to the fire when we counterattack. The fourth one is responding non-defensively. You're responding non-defensively. That is usually the best way to go about diffusing criticism. Responding non-defensively. There's 5 areas typically. Number 1, I'm going to respond by listening. We talked about this. Jennifer mentioned this. Listen. Be engaged. Give the person a little respect. They're upset. Listen to them. Oftentimes we know it's not about the toothpaste tube being squeezed the wrong way, and it's not about the toilet seat being up. There's often something that involves deep feelings, and it's usually not about the subject at hand. It usually is something deeper. Please know this. Please know this. When somebody you care about is upset, I guarantee you there's something deeper. There's something deeper. Be respectful and listen for it. Number 2, acknowledge. Acknowledge them. They're upset. They're crying. They're in shock. Acknowledge them. Wow, you're really upset. You're really upset. If it's a neighbor, wow, okay, all right, I get you're upset. I get it. Let's work this out. Acknowledge their feelings. Third, ask questions. Ask questions. So, okay, all right, I understand you're upset. So what happened? So this happened, and then, oh, okay, listen to them. Ask questions. Try to figure out what's going on specifically. We've all heard about this in couple therapy. So what I'm hearing that you're saying, just so I understand, right? You want to paraphrase. It sounds to me that I understood that what you're upset about is this, and this. Is that right? Am I getting you? Okay, paraphrase. Finally, non-defensive responding is agree with the truth when you hear it. That's a really big form of respect. You know, Mom, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Honey, you're right. You know, I've been doing this and you're absolutely right. Agree with the truth when you hear it. Okay? That will just diffuse the anger tremendously. People just want to be acknowledged and validated. And finally, there are some tips before we're going to do a little bit of role play. Tips to diffuse conflict. Number 1, remain calm. Fire with fire, what do you get? More fire. We're adults here. We're all adults here. I mean, do we get this now? Can you all leave today and really get fire with fire? It's just more fire. Who needs the stress in this day and age, right? We are here to communicate. This is a significant part of communicating. Fire with fire gets more fire. So stay calm. Stay calm. Okay? Don't take it personally. When somebody says, you know what? How can you not take that personally, right? How can you not take that personally? But this is not about you're bad, what you did, you're bad. It's about what you did, I didn't like. It's not about attacking you personally. It's the person has a problem with what you're doing.